Welcome dear friends to my video lecture on National Education Policy, that is 1986. Of course we are having now NEP 2020, that also we will be dealing it at the end. That's also very important. Based on the above commissions, NEP 2020 has been formulated. So we will be discussing on that also. Now today we are going to have 2 or 3 commissions at a stretch, at least for 1.5 hours perhaps. Just listen to me only once, try to understand. I give the summary also. I mean the summary form, which you should keep this in mind so that you are able to have some practice. For that reason I am giving summary at the end of each commission. After exposing each commission, I will be giving the summary, some important points from which you could expand your answer, descriptive answer. So let us straight away enter into the topic. Teacher Education and the National Policy on Education 1986-1992. Teacher education is a vital element in the development of an effective educational system. It aims to equip educators with the skills and knowledge and attitudes needed to inspire and instruct students effectively. National Policy on Education (NP) in 1986, later revised in 1992, laid significant emphasis on teacher education in India. This policy marked a milestone in shaping teacher education, by addressing the need for quality teachers and the role of education in national development and the necessity for educational reforms. Now let us discuss on the objectives of teacher education under NPE. First, improvement in the quality of education. A primary objective of NPE in 1986 was to enhance the quality of education by ensuring that teachers are well prepared, skilled, and committed to their role as educators. Quality teacher training was identified as essential for achieving national educational goals. Secondly, promoting professional development, another objective of NPE 1986. The policy aimed at creating framework for continuous professional development for teachers, allowing them to remain updated with the latest pedagogical practices, educational technology, and subject knowledge. Third objective would be encouraging a national perspective in education. NPE emphasized fostering a sense of national unity and cultural understanding among teachers, which they could then impart to students, promoting a more inclusive secular education. The fourth objective would be focus on inclusive education. The policy encouraged training teachers to be inclusive, aiming to bring marginalized and disadvantaged groups into the mainstream normal educational system. Then introduction of value-based education. Developing values like discipline, empathy, and ethical responsibility in teachers was another crucial objective, as educators play a key role in imparting these values to students. What is the background of this national policy of education? Why was it set up? In other words, the National Policy of Education was formulated in 1986 and modified in 1992 to respond to the evolving educational needs of India. The Government of India recognized the importance of a robust education system in fostering national development, social harmony, and economic growth. There was a pressing need to reform the existing system, as disparities in quality and access to education was evident, particularly in rural areas. The 1986 policy was designed to address these challenges, promoting universalization of education, especially for girls and marginalized communities. In 1992, the policy was revised to reflect the country's changing educational needs and incorporate further recommendations that supported decentralization, improved teacher quality, and curriculum reform. Who are the members involved in formulating this NPE 1986? So the formulation of NPE involved various stakeholders. government officials and policymakers. The Minister of Education, in collaboration with other government bodies, played a crucial role in policy creation and implementation. Then educational experts and academics, prominent educators, scholars and subject matter experts contributed insights on pedagogical practices and educational structure. Then teachers' unions and organizations, NGOs, teachers' associations provided inputs on practical challenges faced by educators and recommended solutions to improve teaching conditions and teacher welfare. Then regional representatives, members from diverse cultural, regional and socio-economic backgrounds participated to ensure the policy addressed the needs of a varied population. Then non-governmental organizations. Organizations focused on education reform and child welfare also played a role in recommending provisions for inclusivity and support for marginalized communities. So, organizations, these NGOs, focused on education reform and child welfare also played a role in recommending provisions. Yes. Recommendations of the National Policy of Education 1986 on teacher education. That's very important, no? Because we are concerned with the teacher education in our syllabus. So this is a very important point. What are the recommendations of National Policy of Education on teacher education? Establishment of District Institutes of Education and Training, DIETs. NPA recommended setting up DIETs in each district to train elementary teachers, aiming to improve the quality of primary education. Very important point. Then promotion of in-service training programs. The policy emphasized the importance of ongoing professional development through workshops, refresher courses and seminars to keep teachers updated. Then strengthening teacher eligibility and qualification standards. NPE suggested raising the eligibility criteria for teacher selection and revising the curriculum for teacher training programs to reflect current educational needs. Integration of technology in teacher education, another important recommendation. The policy recommended the introduction of educational technology or the use of media as the essential components in teacher training. Incorporation of multidisciplinary and research-oriented approaches, another important recommendation by this commission. NPE encouraged teacher education programs to focus on research and multidisciplinary approaches, enhancing teachers' analytical and critical thinking skills. Now, let us discuss on the educational implications of National Policy of Education in modern education today. The educational implications of the NPE are far-reaching as the policy helped to reshape the landscape of teacher education and set a foundation for future reforms. Key implications include enhanced teacher quality. With improved training programs and the establishment of institutions like DIETs, the policy directly contributed to raising the standard of teaching at primary and secondary levels. Then there is a focus on inclusive and value-based education. Today we are having it is because of that commission, we can very well say that. By emphasizing inclusivity and values, the policy promoted an educational environment sensitive to cultural, regional and socio-economic diversity, equipping teachers to handle diverse classrooms more effectively. Then increased emphasis on professionalism. National Policy on Education fostered a sense of professionalism among teachers, encouraging a continuous learning mindset that improved teaching practices over time. Then educational technology and modern pedagogy. By integrating technology, the policy helped teachers adapt to modern pedagogical methods, facilitating innovative teaching approaches and improving student engagement. The support for research in education. The policy's emphasis on research and multidisciplinary training led to a more scientifically informed and research-driven educational ecosystem. So, what we could give as concluding remarks. The National Policy of Education 1986-1992 played a transformative role in teacher education by outlining objectives focused on quality, professionalism, inclusivity and modernization. The recommendations set a framework that improved teacher training, raised educational standards and contributed to national development. These reforms laid the groundwork for a more inclusive, value-based and technologically advanced educational system, making education accessible and relevant for all. By recognizing the vital role of teachers, the NPE helped reinforce the teaching profession's importance, which continues to influence educational policies and reforms in India. So some questions we could ask, of course, based on these things, you could take down all the subheadings separately and then write for yourselves. Give some points. Based on the points I have given, of course, you are having your own notes also, but then these subheadings are very important. Based on these subheadings, put them together, introduction, all the subheadings, the recommendation, background, recommendations, and implications. So these are some points I have given. So under these subheadings, you could write down yourself. You could have a practice by expanding these topics, in your own way, in your own words. That would be of great help to you, I suppose. Next one, some questions we are going to ask. What was the primary objective of teacher education under the National Policy on Education? That is nothing but improvement in the quality of education. That is the primary objective of teacher education under the National Policy of Education. So that is the policy aimed to enhance the educational quality by preparing well-trained and skilled teachers. Which of the following was not an objective of teacher education under the NPE? Not an objective of teacher education. That is reducing the teacher ratio to 1:2. I mean, they are given 4 alternatives. Among the 4, you are asked to take the odd statement out. Nothing connected with the NP. That is reducing the teacher ratio 1:1. Other things are there. Promoting professional development, encouraging national unity, emphasizing inclusive education. All these things are there. Only this one, reducing the teacher student ratio to 1:10, it is not there. One of the objectives of NPE in 1986-1992 was to encourage teachers to instill which of the following in students. That is national perspective. They wanted to give or instill in the minds of the students national perspective. That is a love for the nation, in other words. The policy aimed at creating unity and cultural understanding, fostering a national perspective. What was the focus of NPE in terms of inclusivity? That is mainstreaming marginalized groups, a very important one. They wanted to give importance to the disadvantaged groups of students, very obvious. And because of that, so many governmental provisions, concessions, scholarships came into effect because of this one. So mainstreaming marginalized groups. The policy emphasized inclusivity by incorporating marginalized and disadvantaged groups into education. In which year was the National Policy on Education first formulated? That is 1986. The National Policy on Education was first formulated in 1986. What was the primary reason for revising the National Policy on Education in 1992? To address evolving educational needs. That was the primary reason for revising the National Policy on Education in 1992. Of course, 1986 they had that dropped. But then in order to implement it, they revised the policy in 1992. So that is the idea here. The policy was revised in 1992 to meet the changing educational needs of India. Which institution was recommended by the NPE to improve primary teacher education? That is District Institutes of Education and Training, DIETs. DIETs were established to improve the quality of primary education by training elementary teachers. Who was primarily involved in the formulation of the NPE? A variety of stakeholders, including government officials and educational experts. Various stakeholders such as government officials, educators and NGOs participated in formulating this policy. Which of these was a key recommendation regarding teacher eligibility in the NPE? That is raising the eligibility and qualification standards. That is the key recommendation with regard to teacher eligibility. Raising the eligibility and qualification standard. The policy recommended higher standards for teacher eligibility to improve teacher quality. The NPE emphasized the integration of what in teacher education, that is technology. See, for the first time they were speaking about technology. Because of that, India prospered very fast, no doubt about it. and those students who were having this MCA or MA, M.Sc computer science and all, immediately they were offered lucrative jobs all over India. We could witness that. So that happened because of this NPE. So technology. So the policy recommended integrating educational technology into teacher training. Which of the following groups was emphasized for inclusion in education by the NPE? Marginalized and disadvantaged groups. The policy aimed to make education inclusive for marginalized groups. How did the NPE aim to enhance professionalism among teachers? By encouraging continuous learning and development. The NPE encouraged continuous professional growth to enhance teacher professionalism. What type of values was the NPE keen to develop in teachers? Ethical and empathetic values. The NPE emphasized instilling values like empathy, ethics, and responsibility in teachers. The NPE emphasized a value-based education that included which of the following? Discipline and empathy. Values like discipline and empathy were prioritized for holistic education. Which of the following was not an educational implication of the NPE? That is a reduced emphasis on teacher quality. It is not the educational implication of NPE. Actually, because of NPE, quite a lot of things happened with regard to teacher quality. Teachers became qualitative. In other words, they attained certain quality after this commission. So many new ventures have been taken in the government side, and the teachers were given in-service, pre-service training, everything, and they were always accompanied by so many experts and all. Because of that, there was a raised quality in teaching, no doubt about it. So reduced emphasis on teacher quality is not is not the recommendation of the NP. Yes, the policy focused on improving teacher quality, not reducing it. What did the NPE propose to support research in education? Encouraging teacher involvement in research. The policy encouraged research-based training for teacher development. What was a key goal of introducing TIEs according to the NPE? To train elementary teachers. Yes. What type of education did the NPE emphasize? That is value-based education. The policy highlighted the importance of imparting values such as empathy and responsibility. What did the NPE encourage? To keep teachers updated with the latest practices, that is in-service training programs. The policy promoted in-service programs to keep teachers updated. Which group benefited directly from the policy's focus on inclusive education? That is marginalized and disadvantaged groups. So marginalized and disadvantaged groups, the policy's inclusivity aimed to support these communities. What was the aim of recommending higher education qualification standards to improve teaching quality? No doubt about it. Higher standards aimed at increasing teacher effectiveness. The policy's focus on research in teacher training aimed to develop what skill in teachers? That is analytical and critical thinking skills NPE wanted to create in the minds of the students. Analytical and critical thinking skill they want to give to the teachers. Emphasis on research aimed to develop teachers' analytical abilities. What did the policy emphasize? Technology in teacher education. That is to facilitate modern teaching approaches. Integrating technology helped adapt to contemporary teaching practices. Which of these values was encouraged by the NPE to be instilled in students? That is empathy and ethical responsibility. Values like empathy and ethics were part of the policy's objective. What long-term impact did the NPE aim to achieve through teacher education? That is national development and social harmony. The policy aimed at fostering national progress and social unity through quality education. Now this is over. National policy and education. Now let us talk about National Commission. National Commission on Teachers 1999. So we are going, I want to give 2 or 3 commissions together so that, there is a problem here, internet problem. If I start, let me finish at least a few. Otherwise, I have to struggle hard the whole day. And because of that, sometimes I fail to upload quite a lot of videos. I have enough stuff, but I am unable to give it to you through because of internet connection problems. I'm in the rural area. It's very difficult. The whole day I have to. Morning it's all right. That is why I want to give 2 or 3 commissions together. Normally I wanted to give one, no, each one. I wanted to take each one and then give it to you. Now I have to combine together 2 or 3 for the sake of this problem, technical problem, right? National Commission on Teachers. The National Commission on Teachers was established in 1999 to address the growing need for a comprehensive review and reform of teacher education in India. Recognizing the vital role teachers play in the development of an educated, skilled and responsible society, this National Commission on Teachers (NCT) undertook a detailed examination of the existing teacher education framework. Its objective was to recommend improvements to ensure teachers were well equipped to meet the challenges of a rapidly evolving educational landscape. The Commission identified key areas for reform encompassing teacher recruitment, training, professional development and evaluation. This you have to say it in the introduction part. This is introduction part actually, okay. Now we go for the objectives of the National Commission on Teachers, 1999. The primary objectives of the National Commission on Teachers included the following. Enhance teacher quality. To improve the quality of teacher education programs across the country, ensuring teachers possess the required skills, knowledge and attitude to promote effective learning. So enhancing teacher quality, that's one of the objectives. Of course, all the commission talk about it, no doubt about it. But this commission also gives emphasis to that, yes. Standardized teacher training. So another, this is the important contribution of this NCT. Standardizing teacher training. To establish uniform standards for teacher training. Setting consistent qualifications and competencies for educators at various levels. Now strengthen professional development. To develop a framework for continuous professional development, enabling teachers to keep up with the advances in pedagogy, technology and curriculum reforms. Then policy recommendations for teacher welfare. To make policy recommendations on teacher welfare and working conditions, thereby enhancing the profession's appeal and stability. Policy recommendations on teacher welfare. Accountability and evaluation. To propose a system of teacher evaluation and accountability that would allow for fair and constructive assessment of teaching practices. Accountability and evaluation. What is the background of the National Commission on Teachers? The formulation of the National Commission on Teachers was driven by several socio-educational factors in the 1990s. As India expanded its school education network, the demand for qualified teachers grew rapidly. However, it was evident that the quality of teacher training programs varied significantly across states. A lack of standardization in curriculum, resources and teaching practices led to disparities in education quality. Moreover, globalization and advances in information technology were influencing the skills required by modern teachers. Recognizing these issues, the Government of India established the NCT, National Council on Teachers, to review teacher education holistically and provide recommendations to modernize and standardize teacher education nationwide. Who are the members involved in the National Commission on Teachers? The NCT comprised experienced educators, policymakers, education researchers and representatives from teacher training institutions. These members brought diverse perspectives, considering both urban and rural educational contexts. Scholars specializing in teacher pedagogy, curriculum development, child psychology and educational technology also contributed. Their collective expertise enabled a comprehensive analysis of existing challenges and potential reforms in teacher education. What are the recommendations of the National Commission on Teachers, 1999? The NCT made several key recommendations aimed at transforming teacher education in India. First one, revised curriculum for teacher education programs. Emphasis was placed on revising the curriculum of teacher education programs to include modules on modern teaching methodologies, inclusive education, and the use of digital tools in classrooms. Secondly, standardized teacher qualification. A standardized set of qualifications for teachers was recommended to ensure consistent teaching quality. This included specific qualifications for primary, secondary, and higher education teachers. Then there is an emphasis on practical training by this commission. The commission stressed the importance of practical teaching experience, advocating for extended teaching internships and mentorship programs to prepare teachers for real-world classroom challenges. This NCT did the great service on this, and because of that I think we had the component of practice sessions in the schools. The trainees had to go to different schools and then learn something directly from the students and teachers there. So emphasis on practical training. Then continuous professional development. It recommended establishing a framework for ongoing teacher training and skill enhancement, encouraging teachers to participate in workshops, seminars, and refresher courses. Then teacher evaluation and accountability. The commission suggested implementing a transparent and fair teacher evaluation system with constructive feedback mechanisms to support teachers' growth. That is what's happening now. This pgtrb or college trb or tet-ctet, all the exams come under this. Teacher evaluation and accountability. Then improved working conditions and benefits to attract and retain skilled professionals, teachers. The commission recommended better pay scales, career advancement opportunities, and supportive working conditions for teachers. Now let us discuss on the educational implications of the National Commission on Teachers 1999. The recommendations of the NCT 1999 had significant implications for teacher education and the broader educational system. Improved teacher quality. By emphasizing high standards for teacher education, the NCT aimed to produce more skilled, motivated, and dedicated educators. As a result, students benefited from a more engaging and effective learning experience. Enhanced teaching methods. With greater exposure to modern teaching methodologies and technologies, teachers could adapt their method to suit the diverse needs of their students, making learning more accessible and interactive. Then consistency across regions. The standardization of qualifications and curriculum helped to reduce disparities in teacher education quality across states, contributing to a more uniform standard of teaching in urban and rural areas alike. Then lifelong learning and professional growth. The focus on continuous professional development encouraged a culture of lifelong learning among teachers, enabling them to keep pace with the educational innovations and the evolving student needs. Then accountability in teaching. The establishment of a structured evaluation system fostered a culture of accountability and helped to build a trust in the teaching profession by ensuring that teachers met established performance standards. What you could give as the concluding remarks. The National Commission on Teachers played a crucial role in reshaping teacher education in India. By addressing critical issues in teacher recruitment, training, and professional development, the Commission set the foundation for a more robust, accountable, and responsive education system. Its recommendations aimed to create a professional environment in which teachers could thrive and in turn support the holistic development of students across the country. The implications of its work continue to influence policy discussions around teacher education, underscoring the need for a well-supported and high-quality teaching workforce. The NCT's legacy reflects the importance of investing in teacher education to build an empowered and educated nation. So these points will be in conclusion. Now I'll give you the summary of what you could have as the practice. So write down all the subheadings and then give some points, in your own words. That would be the best practice you can have. I hope you understand that. Of course, it's very difficult only. It's not so easy. Simply learning by listening or learning by reading the books, that would be much easier. But then this exam seems to be very different, because you have to perform excellently, then only you will get a job. No, that is what people are saying. So what is wrong in having some practice? Keep the points together. No, write down these points, and under each heading write down some ideas, so that you get certain confidence, and also writing skills also you will develop. So for that reason I am giving you the summary of this. Right, this is the summary points. National Commission on Teachers 1999, Deshiya Aanayar Aanayam, established in 1999 to reform teacher education in India. 1999 ஆண்டில் இந்தியாவில் ஆசிரியர் கல்வி சீர்திருத்தம் உருவாக்கப்பட்டது. Aimed to improve teacher recruitment, training, professional development and evaluation. ஆசிரியர் ஆட்சேர்ப்பு, பயிற்சி, தொழில்முறை வளர்ச்சி, மதிப்பீடு ஆகியவை மேம்படுத்த இலக்கை கொண்டிருந்தது. Address the need for standardization in teacher education. Another important point is this one here. ஆசிரியர் கல்வியில் ஒரே மாதிரியான தரத்தை கொண்டு வர முனைந்தது. Address the need for standardization in teacher education. What are the objectives? நோக்கங்கள் என்ன? Enhance teacher quality, improving teacher education programs to develop skilled and knowledgeable teachers. ஆசிரியர் தரத்தை உயர்த்தல், திறமையான மற்றும் அறிவார்ந்த ஆசிரியர்களை உருவாக்க கல்வி திட்டங்களை மேம்படுத்துதல். Then standardizing training, that is setting uniform standards for teacher qualifications. பயிற்சியை ஒருமைப்படுத்துதல், ஆசிரியர் தகுதிக்கான ஒரே மாதிரியான தரங்களை அமைத்தல், standardizing training. Then strengthening professional development, enabling teachers to stay updated with the modern teaching methods. தொழில்முறை வளர்ச்சியை வலுப்படுத்துதல், ஆசிரியர்கள் புதிய கற்பித்தல் முறைகள் விரைவாக புதுப்பிக்கப்பட உதவுதல். Policy recommendations for teacher welfare, improving working conditions and benefits. ஆசிரியர் நலனுக்கான பரிந்துரைகள், வேலை சூழல் மற்றும் சலுகைகளை மேம்படுத்துதல். Accountability and evaluation, introducing fair evaluation systems for teachers. பொறுப்புடைமையும் மதிப்பீடும், ஆசிரியருக்கான நியாயமான மதிப்பீட்டு முறையை கொண்டு வருதல். What is the background? Background பற்றி என்ன பாயிண்ட்ஸ் நம்ம சொல்லலாம். The demand for qualified teachers increased in the 1990s due to educational expansion. கல்வி விரிவாக்கத்தால் 1990களில் தகுதியான ஆசிரியருடைய தேவை அதிகரித்தது. Lack of uniformity in teacher education created disparities in quality. ஒருமைப்பாடு இல்லாமல் ஆகவே கல்வி தரத்தில் வேறுபாடு உருவாகியது. The commission was formed to modernize teacher education. ஆசிரியர் கல்வியை நவீனப்படுத்த இந்த ஆணையம் உருவாக்கப்பட்டது. Then members involved, who are the members involved? Included policy makers, education researchers and teacher trainers. கொள்கை நிர்ணயர்கள், கல்வி ஆராய்ச்சியாளர்கள், பயிற்றுவிப்பாளர்கள் ஆகியோர் அடங்கினர். Considered both urban and rural educational challenges. நகர மற்றும் கிராமப்புற கல்வி சவால்களை கருத்தில் கொண்டிருந்தனர். Key recommendation, முக்கிய பரிந்துரைகள் என்ன? Revised teacher education curriculum including modern methodologies and digital tools. புதிய பாடத்திட்டம், புதிய கற்பித்தல் முறைகள், டிஜிட்டல் கருவிகள் சேர்க்கப்பட்டது. Then standardized teacher qualifications, set specific qualifications for different levels. தரமான ஆசிரியர் தகுதிகள், பல்வேறு கல்வி நிலையங்களுக்கு தனித்துவமான தகுதிகள் தரப்பட்டன. Practical training emphasis, increase internships and mentorship. நடைமுறை பயிற்சி முக்கியத்துவம், இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் வழிகாட்டுதல் அதிகரிக்க வேண்டும் என்று வலியுறுத்தியது. இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் என்று சொன்னால் ஆசிரியர் பயிற்சி நிலையத்திலிருந்து பள்ளிகளுக்கே சென்று அனுபவம் பெறுதல் அந்த இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் என்று சொல்லக்கூடியது. அடுத்து கண்டினியூஸ் ப்ரொஃபஷனல் டெவலப்மெண்ட், என்கரேஜிங் பார்ட்டிசிபேஷன் இன் ட்ரைனிங் ப்ரோக்ராம்ஸ். தொடர் தொழில்முறை வளர்ச்சி பயிற்சி நிரல்களில் ஆசிரியர்கள் பங்கெடுக்க ஊக்குவித்தல். டீச்சர் எவாலுவேஷன் அண்ட் அக்கௌண்டபிலிட்டி, இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் எ டிரான்ஸ்பரண்ட் எஜுகேஷனல் சிஸ்டம். ஆசிரியர் மதிப்பீடு மற்றும் பொறுப்பு, வெளிப்படையான மதிப்பீட்டு முறை கொண்டு வருதல். பெட்டர் பே அண்ட் ஒர்க்கிங் கண்டிஷன்ஸ், இம்ப்ரூவ் சேலரி அண்ட் கரியர் ப்ரொக்ரெஷன். சம்பளம் மற்றும் வேலை சூழல் மேம்பாடு, உயர்ந்த சம்பளம், பதவி உயர்வு வாய்ப்பு வழங்குதல். தென் எஜுகேஷன் இம்ப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ், இந்த கமிஷனுடைய எஜுகேஷன் கல்வி செயல்பாடு, கல்வி தாக்கங்கள் என்ன? கல்வி செயல்பாடு என்று சொல்வது கல்வி தாக்கங்கள். பெட்டர் டீச்சர் குவாலிட்டி, More skilled and effective educators were created because of this commission. மேம்பட்ட ஆசிரியர் தரம், திறமையான செயல்திறன் மிக்க ஆசிரியர்கள் உருவாயினர். Modern teaching methods, use of technology and new strategies. நவீன கற்பித்தல் முறைகள், தொழில்நுட்பம் மற்றும் புதிய உத்திகள் பயன்படுத்தப்பட்டன. Uniform standards across states. Uniform standards reduced disparity in teacher education. மாநிலங்களுக்கிடையே ஒரு ஒருமைப்பாடு, கல்வித்தர வேறுபாடு குறைவு. மாநிலங்களுக்கிடையே கல்வித்தர வேறுபாடு குறைவு. Then linking learning culture, lifelong learning culture encouraged continuous training for teachers. சீரான கல்வி கலாச்சாரம், ஆசிரியர் தொடர்ந்து பயிற்சி பெற ஊக்குவிப்பு. Then accountability and performance evaluation ensured high teaching standards. பொறுப்புடைமையும் செயல்திறன் மதிப்பீடும், கற்பித்தலுடைய தரம் உறுதி செய்யப்பட்டது. கன்க்ளூஷனில் என்ன சொல்லலாம்? NCT 1999 played a crucial role in transforming teacher education. ஆசிரியர்களை மாற்றுவது தேசிய ஆசிரியர் ஆணையம் முக்கிய பங்கு வகித்தது. எவ்வாறு? Its reforms laid the foundation for a stronger education system. இதன் மாற்றங்கள் வலுவான கல்வி அமைப்புகளை அடித்தளமாக மாற்றின. அடுத்து, it emphasized the importance of a well-trained and supported teaching workforce. நன்றாக பயிற்சி பெற்ற ஆதரவு பெற்ற ஆசிரியர்கள் முக்கியம் என்பதை இது வலியுறுத்தியது. இதெல்லாம் கல்வி தாக்கங்களாக சொல்கிறேன். இதை வைத்து நீங்கள் சிலவற்றை எழுதி பாடுங்கள், அசை போடுங்கள், மனதிலே இந்த கருத்துக்களை மனதிலே இருத்தி கொள்ளுங்கள். இந்த கேள்வி வந்தால் இப்படித்தான் எழுத வேண்டும் என்று தெளிவாக செல்லுதல், அதுதான் முக்கியம். அதாவது இந்த ரொம்ப தரமான ஆன்சர்ஸ் எதுன்னா குழம்பி போய் நிற்க வேணாம். ஒரு சில கருத்துக்களை சொல்லணும், அதை நல்லா நயமாக ஒரு அமைப்போடு சொல்லணும். அதுதான் எதிர்பார்ப்பாங்க. ஏன்னா இப்போ இது PGTRB அப்படிங்கும்போது மிகச்சிறந்த ஆசிரியர்கள், நீங்கள் ஏற்கனவே பயிற்சி பெற்றவர்கள், அனுபவம் மிக்கவர்கள். இப்போ என்னன்னா ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் எப்படி பண்ணுறதுங்கிறத வச்சு தான் ஒருவருக்கும் இன்னொருக்கும் இந்த மார்க் வித்தியாசம் இருக்க போகுது. அந்த ப்ரெசன்டேஷனுக்கு நீங்கள் ஒரு சிலவற்றை செய்ய வேண்டும் என்பதற்காக நான் தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் சிலவற்றை கொடுக்கிறேன். இதையே நீங்கள் வைத்துக்கொள்ளலாம் என்று கூட நினைக்கின்றேன். ஏன்னால் முன்னுரை, சில முக்கியமான, அதாவது நிறையா இருக்குது. அதை பார்த்தா ஒரு புத்தகமே இருக்குது ஒவ்வொரு கமிஷனுக்கு. அதை பூரா நம்ம எழுத முடியுமா? அதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மிக மிக முக்கியமான கருத்துக்கள் என்ன அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம எழுத முடியும். ஆகவே இதில் குழம்பி போயிருக்கலாம் வேண்டாம், இதைத்தான் படிக்க வேண்டிய என்று இல்லை, எதை வேணாலும் படித்து கொள்ளுங்க. முக்கியமான சாராம்சங்களை மட்டும் மனதில் இருத்தி கொண்டு நீங்கள் எழுதி பார்ப்பீர்கள் என்று சொன்னால் அது மிக்க நலமாக இருக்கும். அதுதான் உங்களுக்கு மதிப்பெண்களை அதிகமாக ஈட்டி தரும் நிலைய. தெளிவாக இந்த கமிஷன் வந்தால் இந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் நான் எழுதுவேன். ரொம்ப நிறையா 100 பாயிண்ட்ஸ் 50 பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் அப்படின்லாம் இல்லை. இந்த 5 பாயிண்ட்டை நான் எழுதுவேன். ரெக்கமெண்டேஷனில் இதை சொல்லுவேன், பேக்ரவுண்டை பற்றி சொல்லுவேன், அதில் இந்தந்த பாயிண்ட்டை அந்த மாதிரி தெளிவாக நீங்கள் சென்றீர்கள் என்று சொன்னால் உண்மையிலேயே அது மிகச்சிறந்த தயாரிப்பாக இருக்கும். ரொம்ப மகிழ்ச்சியோடு நீங்கள் தேர்வு எழுதி வருவீர்கள் என்று தான் நினைக்கிறேன். ஆகவே தெளிவாக இருக்க வேண்டும். இந்த கமிஷன் வந்தால் இதைத்தான் நான் அதைத்தான் நான் செய்து கொண்டு இருக்கிறேன். இது உதவியாக இருக்குமானால் வைத்துக்கொள்ளுங்கள். நீங்கள் தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் கேட்டீர்கள். இந்த நோட்ஸ் எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு தருவதற்கு நான் தயாராக இருக்கேன். ஏன் தமிழில் பேசுகிறேன்னா இங்கிலீஷில் சொன்னால் சிக்கல் வரும், இது யூடியூப்பில் போடுறதுனால. அதனால நான் தனியாக சொல்கிறேன். நீங்கள் ஒரு சின்ன விலை கொடுத்து, அதாவது இந்த செலவு தொகை சும்மா 200 300 200 தான். 200 கொடுத்து நீங்கள் இது பூரா அப்படியே வாங்கிக்கலாம். எல்லா கேள்விகள், எல்லா பதில்கள் எல்லாத்தையுமே உங்களுக்கு நான் தர்றேன். இது மட்டும் இல்லை, நான் ஏற்கனவே தயார் செய்திருக்கேன், அத்தனையுமே உங்களுக்கு நான் தருகிறேன். ஆகவே நீங்கள் தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் எனது நம்பருக்கு நீங்கள் அடித்தீர்கள் என்று சொன்னால், உள்ளே கூட ஒரு நம்பர் ஒன்று கொடுத்துருக்கேன். ஒவ்வொரு அந்த யூடியூப்ன்ற அந்த டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் பாக்ஸ்லேயே நம்பர்லாம் கொடுத்துருக்கேன். அதையும் கொஞ்சம் பார்த்து யாராவது வேணும்னா தயவுசெய்து நிச்சயமாக நீங்கள் பயன்பெறுவீர்கள், நான் நம்புகிறேன். இது ஒரு கையில் வைத்துக்கொள்ளுங்கள். இதை நீங்கள் எடுத்து பிரிண்ட் அவுட் கூட எடுத்துக்கலாம். நீங்கள் தேவைப்பட்டால் உங்களுக்கு ஃபாண்ட் சைஸ் 12 கூட போட்டு தரேன். நீங்கள் பிரிண்ட் அவுட் எடுத்து தாராளமாக பயன்படுத்திக்கொள்ளும். ஒரு சின்ன விலை மட்டும், ஒரு 200 மட்டும் நீங்கள் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். ஏன்னா அதற்கான உழைப்பு இருக்கிறது. எனக்கும் கொஞ்சம் ஒரு ஏழை மாணவர்களுக்கு உதவி செய்வதற்கான ஒரு தேவையும் இருக்கிறது. அதற்காக கேட்கிறேன். ஸோ காட் பிளஸ் யூ abundantly. நாம் ஒரு சில கேள்விகளை நாம் இங்கே கேட்போம். What was the primary objective of the National Commission on Teachers established in 1999? That is, to improve the quality of teacher education. The NCT aimed to improve the quality of teacher education programs across India. Which of the following was not an objective of NCT? That is, increase teacher salaries without conditions. அது இல்லை. நம்ம ஏற்கனவே கூட இந்த மாதிரி கேள்வி வந்துச்சு. கண்டிஷன்ஸ் இல்லாமல் யார் சம்பளம் கொடுப்பா, இப்படிலாம் வேலை செஞ்சால் சம்பளம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ அந்த அர்த்தத்தில். So what socio-educational factor prompted the establishment of the NCT? That is a demand for qualified teachers. The growing demand for qualified teachers due to an expanding school network and to the establishment of the NCT. Who comprised the members of the National Commission on Teachers? That is, NCT included experienced educators, policymakers, and education researchers to ensure diverse perspectives. One of the recommendations of the NCT was to revise the curriculum of teacher education programs. What was the purpose of this revision? The curriculum revision. The NCT recommended revising the curriculum to incorporate modern teaching methodologies. What did the NCT emphasize regarding teacher qualifications? That is, standardized qualifications across various education levels. The NCT advocated for standardized qualifications to ensure consistent teaching quality. According to the NCT, what is important for preparing teachers for classroom challenges? That is, extensive practical teaching experience. The NCT emphasized the importance of extensive practical teaching experience to prepare teachers. What did the NCT recommend for engaging teacher training? That is, a framework for continuous professional development. The NCT recommended establishing a framework for continuous professional development for teachers. What was one of the proposed benefits to attract and retain skilled teachers? That is, improved working conditions and benefits. The NCT suggested improving working conditions and benefits to make the profession more appealing. What type of system did the NCT propose for teacher evaluation? That is, a transparent and fair evaluation system. The NCT proposed a transparent and fair system to evaluate teachers to include constructive feedback. What was a key implication of the NCT's recommendations for teacher quality? What was a key implication of the NCT's recommendation for teacher quality? That is, improved student learning experiences. Improved teacher quality aimed to enhance student learning experience in classrooms. The NCT aimed to create uniform standards for teacher training. What effect would this have? That is, consistency in teaching quality. That is what would be attained. That is, standardization was intended to create consistency in teaching quality across regions, across different states. Which area was highlighted as needing attention by the NCT to adapt to modern challenges? That is, teaching methodologies and digital tools. The NCT highlighted the need for modern teaching methodologies and digital tools in teacher training. What type of culture did the NCT's focus on continuous professional development aim to foster? That is that is a B. What is that? A culture of lifelong learning. Continuous professional development aimed to create a culture of lifelong learning among educators. What was the one effect of the proposed structured evaluation system for teachers? That is, increased teacher accountability. பொறுப்புடைமை ஆக்குதல். The structured evaluation system was intended to increase accountability among teachers. How did the NCT aim to address disparities in education quality? Through standardization of teacher qualifications. Standardizing qualifications aimed to reduce disparities in education quality between regions. What was a significant recommendation regarding teacher training internships? That is, they should be extended and include mentorship. No, that is their recommendation. The NCT recommended extended teaching internships with the membership to better prepared teachers. That is why 6 months are given nowadays. Am I correct? Yeah, 6 months they have to go to the school. The trainees have to go to different schools and get some experience. Right. What role did the NCT see for technology in education? That is, technology should be integrated into teacher training. That is what they expected. The NCT recommended integrating technology into teacher training to enhance teaching methods. Which group was primarily targeted for improving working conditions as per the NCT's recommendations? that is teachers. The NCT focused on improving the working conditions and benefits specifically for teachers. What was the ultimate goal of the NCT's recommendations for teacher education? That is to create a more educated and skilled society. The ultimate goal was to build an empowered and educated society through quality teacher education. In terms of educational implications, what did the NCT's work contribute to the teaching profession? That is enhanced professionalism and trust. The NCT's work aimed to enhance the professionalism and trust in the teaching profession through quality standards. What did the NCT suggest regarding teacher training for inclusive education? That is, it should be a significant part of teacher training. That is, NCT recommended that inclusive education should be an integral part of teacher training. That is why a separate subject is given nowadays in the B.Ed colleges and all the universities give it, and of course the UGC gives that. Compulsorily they have to learn this inclusive education. What was one of the challenges addressed by the NCT in teacher education? That is, NCT addressed the challenge of lack of qualified teachers, a major issue in education. What impact did the NCT hope to achieve by improving teacher quality? That is, better student outcomes and learning experience. What is the ultimate aim of teacher quality? Teacher quality should give certain experience to the students, and because of that, students should become masters of subjects, and they should be attaining different skills in their subjects. It is because of quality teaching. So that is the understanding here. So what impact did the NCT hope to achieve by impacting teacher quality? The aim was to improve student outcomes by enhancing the quality of teaching. What was the overall vision of the National Commission on Teachers for Indian Education? That is to ensure a well-supported and high-quality teaching workforce. The NCT envisioned a well-supported and high-quality teaching workforce as essential for a robust education system. I would like to give a shortcut also. Suppose you want to give very brief at the same time focused answer. What should you do? Take all the explanation part here, put them together, and then have some link words here and there. It will be also a very good answer, a fitting answer for any type of question in this topic. So take all the explanation parts, put them together, write down separately. That itself will be enough for you, and then you have the practice. I hope so, because it is constructed in such a manner that all the explanation statements will give you an ample opportunity to write a very good descriptive answer. I hope so. So kindly see to it yourself. I am not compelling you. Try to see whether my point is correct or not by applying it. Just having a practice and then see whether what I say is true or not, you will come to know. Yes. Now, the third commission we are going to talk about, teacher education and the National Curriculum Framework 2005. What are the objectives of teacher education? This one, the National Curriculum, according to National Curriculum Framework 2005, the primary objectives of teacher education are to equip future educators with the knowledge, skills and attitudes necessary to facilitate effective learning in diverse classroom environment. These objectives include enhancing pedagogical skills. Teacher education programs aim to develop a range of pedagogical strategies to enable teachers to cater to various learning styles and needs, ensuring that all students can achieve their full potential. So, enhancing pedagogical skills, this commission, the National Curriculum Framework, envisaged. Then fostering subject knowledge. Educators must possess a deep understanding of the subjects they teach. Teacher education focuses on providing a solid foundation in both content knowledge and the relevant pedagogical content knowledge. So, mastery over the subject as well as the teaching skills or teaching strategies to, put that knowledge, subject knowledge into the minds of the student. That is content knowledge and the relevant pedagogical content knowledge. Then encouraging reflective practice. Future teachers are trained to engage in reflective practice. which involves critically analyzing their teaching methods and the learning outcomes of their students. This self-reflection promotes continuous professional development. Then promoting inclusive education. A careful objective of teacher education is to prepare teachers to address the needs of all students, including those with diverse backgrounds, abilities, and learning challenges. Then instilling professional ethics. Teacher education emphasizes the importance of ethical conduct and professionalism, fostering a commitment to equity, justice, and respect for all students. So what is the background of teacher education in India? This commission, no? What is this? This commission, that is National Curriculum Framework. According to them, what is teacher education in India? So teacher education in India has evolved significantly over the years, influenced by various educational policies and reforms. The National Curriculum Framework 2005 marked a pivotal moment in this evolution. Before the NCF 2005, teacher education faced challenges such as a lack of coherence in curriculum design, inadequate training programs, and an overemphasis on rote learning. The NCF aimed to address these issues by promoting a more holistic and integrated approach to education. The NCF 2005 highlighted the need for a comprehensive teacher education framework that would enhance the quality of teaching and learning in schools. It recognized that effective teaching education is essential for achieving the goals of the Right to Education Act and ensuring quality education for all. Who are the members involved in teacher education? Government bodies. The Ministry of Education, along with various state governments, plays a crucial role in formulating policies, standards, and regulations for teacher education. Then educational institutions, universities and colleges that offer teacher education programs are central to the training of future educators. These institutions are responsible for designing curricula, delivering instruction, and conducting assessments. Then teacher educators, experienced educators and trainers are essential in guiding and mentoring student teachers. They provide insights into effective teaching practices and support the professional development of future teachers. Then the future teachers themselves are active participants in the process, engaging in learning experiences that prepare them for their roles in the classroom. The future teachers themselves are active participants in the process. Then community and parents. Collaboration with the community and parents is vital to ensure that teacher education aligns with the local needs and cultural context. Now let us talk about the recommendations for improving teacher education according to this commission. To enhance the effectiveness of teacher education in the light of NCF 2005, the following recommendations are proposed. Curriculum revision. Regular updates to the teacher education curriculum should reflect contemporary educational practices, technological advancements, and emerging pedagogical theories. Then practical training. Emphasize hands-on experience through internships and field work in diverse educational settings to bridge the gap between theory and practice. Then continuous professional development. Implement mandatory ongoing training and professional development opportunities for teachers to keep them updated on best practices and educational innovations. Then assessment reform. Shift towards a formative assessment methods that focus on student learning outcomes rather than solely relying on traditional examination systems. Collaboration and networking fosters partnerships between teacher education institutions and schools, enabling a collaborative approach to training and professional development. What are the educational implications of the National Curriculum Framework 2005? The NCF 2005 has significant educational implications for teacher education as it emphasizes constructivist approach. That the framework advocates for a constructive approach to learning, which requires teachers to facilitate active learning and encourage critical thinking among students. Then interdisciplinary learning. It promotes an interdisciplinary approach, urging teachers to connect various subjects and topics, making learning more relevant and engaging for students. Then holistic development. The NCF emphasizes the importance of nurturing the holistic development of students, focusing not only on academic excellence but also on emotional, social and physical well-being. Then equity and inclusion. The framework stresses the need for inclusive practices that cater to diverse learners, highlighting the responsibility of teachers to create equitable learning environments. Then community engagement. The NCF encourages schools to engage with the community, recognizing the role of local context and culture in shaping education. In conclusion, we can say this: the objectives, background, members involved, and the recommendations for teacher education as aligned with the National Curriculum Framework 2005 reflect a commitment to improving the quality of education in India. This is the concluding remark. By addressing the challenges and embracing the principles set forth in NCF, teacher education can significantly contribute to the development of effective educators who are equipped to meet the diverse needs of learners in a rapidly changing world. These points could be there in the conclusion part. Now I am giving you the summary of this one so that you have some certain practice out of these points. Teacher education and the National Curriculum Framework. NCF means what? National Curriculum Framework 2005. What are the objectives of this National Curriculum Framework? Equip future educators with the knowledge, skills and attitudes for effective learning. எதிர்கால ஆசிரியர்களுக்கு கல்வி, திறன்கள், மனப்பான்மை ஆகியவற்றை வழங்குதல். Enhancing pedagogical skills. Develop teaching strategies for diverse learning needs. ஸோ பல்வேறு கல்வி தேவைகளுக்கு ஏற்ப கற்பித்தல் முறைகளை உருவாக்குதல். Enhancing pedagogical skills. Then fostering subject knowledge. Ensure teachers have deep subject understanding. ஆசிரியர்களுக்கு பாடத்தில் ஆழமான அறிவு வழங்கும். Fostering deep subject knowledge. Then encouraging reflective practice. Analyze and improve teaching methods. கற்பித்தல் முறைகளை பரிசீலித்து மேம்படுத்துதல். Then promoting inclusive education. Address the needs of all students. அனைத்து மாணவர்களை உள்ளடக்கிய கல்வியை ஊக்குவித்தல். Promoting inclusive education. Then instilling professional ethics. Emphasis ethical conduct and justice. நெறிமுறைகளை கடைபிடித்து நீதியை உறுதிப்படுத்துதல் இன்னொரு நோக்கம். So what is the background of teacher education in India? Significant evolution influenced by policies and reforms. கல்வி கொள்கைகள் திருத்தங்கள் ஆகியவற்றால் கணிசமான மாற்றம் ஏற்பட்டது. அது ஒரு பேக்ரவுண்ட். இதனுடைய பின்னணி என்ன? The significant evolution influenced by policies and reforms. Then challenges before NCF 2005. Lack of coherence, rote learning, inadequate training. NCF 2000க்கு முன் ஒருங்கிணைந்த பாடத்திட்டம் இல்லாமை, நினைவுபடுத்துதல் கற்றல், அதாவது மெமரி லேர்னிங், போதிய பயிற்சி இல்லாமல், lack of practice. So these things helped, or it gave the need to formulate this commission, NCF 2005. நவீன ஒருங்கிணைந்த அணுகுமுறையை கொண்டு இந்த சிக்கல்களை சரி செய்தது. NCF 2005 addressed these issues through a holistic approach. Then linked to Right to Education Act, ensuring quality education. கல்வி உரிமை சட்டத்துடன் இணைந்து தரமான கல்வியை உறுதிப்படுத்து. இதெல்லாம் பேக்ரவுண்டில் சொல்கிறோம். ஏன் இந்த why this commission was set up, we are giving the reasons. You need not write everything, at least take one or two points and then try to expand. I am trying to give all the points necessary. Not necessarily you must write everything. See, finally your answer should be very attractive, that's all. Within 3 pages you are writing, and whatever you are writing is so clear and the examiner is able to understand, and you are giving adequate points. That's all. Most important points on this commission you are giving. That is what I hope the examiners will expect from you. Right. Linked to Right to Education Act, ensuring quality education. I already told you. Members involved in teacher education. That is government bodies, Ministry of Education and state governments, அரசு அமைப்புகள், கல்வி அமைச்சகம், மாநில அரசுகள் எல்லாம். Then educational institutions, universities and colleges designing curriculum, கல்வி நிறுவனங்கள் பாடத்திட்டத்தை வடிவமைக்கும் பல்கலைக்கழகம் மற்றும் கல்லூரிகள். டீச்சர் எஜுகேட்டர்ஸ், கைட் அண்ட் மென்டர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் டீச்சர்ஸ், ஆசிரியர் பயிற்றுவிப்பாளர்கள் வழிநடத்துகின்ற ஆசிரியர்கள், இதெல்லாம் தேவை என்று வலியுறுத்தியது. தென் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், ஆக்டிவ் பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் இன் லேர்னிங், மாணவர்கள் கல்வி செயல்முறையில் அதாவது ஆக்டிவ் லேர்னிங், செயல்பாட்டு கல்வியில் ஈடுபடுதல். Community and parents, enhancing education, ensure education aligning with local needs. உள்ளூர் தேவைகளுடன் கல்வி இருப்பதை உறுதி செய்தல். அதற்கு சமூகத்தையும் பெற்றோர்களை நாடுது. இதெல்லாம் யாரெல்லாம் மெம்பர்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Who are the members involved in this commission? Now let us talk about recommendations. Curriculum revisions, updating content to reflect modern trends. பாடத்திட்ட மாற்றம், சமகால போக்குகள் பிரதிபலிக்க புதுப்பித்தல். Then practical training, emphasizing hands-on experience. நடைமுறை பயிற்சி, செயலில் அடிப்படை அனுபவங்கள் வழங்குதல். Continuous professional development, ongoing training for teachers. தொடர்ச்சியான தொழில்முறை மேம்பாடு, ஆசிரியர்களுக்கு இடைநிலை பயிற்சி வழங்குதல் அல்லது பணியிடை பயிற்சி வழங்குதல். Then assessment reform, focus on student learning outcomes. மதிப்பீடு மாற்றம், மாணவருடைய கற்றல் விளைவுகளை மையமாக கொள்ளுதல். Collaboration and networking, connect teacher education institutions with the schools. கூட்டுறவு, இணைப்பு, ஆசிரியர் கல்வி நிறுவனங்களை பள்ளிகளை இணைத்தல். Educational implications of NCF 2005, constructivist approach, encouraging critical thinking and active learning. கட்டமைப்பு போக்கு, விமர்சனமயமான சிந்தனை மற்றும் செயல்திறனை ஊக்குவித்தல். Interdisciplinary learning, connecting subjects for holistic education. பல்வேறு பாடங்களுடைய ஒருங்கிணைப்பு, முழுமையான கல்வியை உருவாக்குதல். Holistic development, focus on emotional, social and physical well-being of both teachers and students. முழுமையான வளர்ச்சி, உணர்ச்சி, சமூக உடல் நலத்தை மையமாக கொள்ளுதல். Equity and inclusion, creating inclusive learning aspects. சமத்துவம், உள்ளடக்கம், அனைவரும் சேரும் கல்வி சூழலை உருவாக்குதல். Community engagement, recognizing local context in education. சமூக ஈடுபாடு, கல்வியில் உள்ளூர் சூழலை புரிந்து செயல்படுதல். கன்க்ளூடிங் ரிமார்க்ஸில் என்ன சொல்லலாம்? NCF 2005 transforms teacher education for a dynamic world. ஆசிரியர் கல்வியை NCF 2005 மாற்றுகிறது. Focus on inclusivity, modern methods and professional growth. உள்ளடக்க கல்வி, நவீன முறைகள், தொழில்முறை வளர்ச்சி ஆகியவற்றிலே கவனம் செலுத்துகிறது. டீச்சர் எஜுகேஷன் இஸ் கீ டு நேஷனல் ப்ரோக்ரஸ். ஆசிரியர் கல்வியே தேச முன்னேற்றத்திற்கு அடிப்படை. சில கேள்விகளை முன்வைப்போம். வாட் இஸ் த பிரைமரி அப்ஜெக்டிவ் ஆஃப் டீச்சர் எஜுகேஷன் அக்கார்டிங் டு NCF? தட் இஸ் டு என்ஹான்ஸ் pedagogical skills. Enhancing pedagogical skills is crucial for preparing effective educators. Which of the following best describes the goal of fostering subject knowledge in teacher education according to National Commission framework, National Committee on Framework, NCF, right? Teachers, a deep understanding of the subject matter is essential for effective teaching. What is reflective practice in teacher education according to NCF? That is, reflective practice encourages teachers to analyze the methods for ongoing improvement. What is a significant challenge faced by teacher education before the NCF 2005? That is, an overemphasis on rote learning was a major issue prior to NCF. This is the significant challenge they faced in NCF 2005. Which framework emphasized the need for a comprehensive teacher education structure? That is National Curriculum Framework 2005. The NCF 2005 called for an integrated approach to teacher education. Who plays a crucial role in formulating policies for teacher education in India? That is government bodies. Government bodies are responsible for policy formulation in education. Which of the following is not a member involved in teacher education? That is, librarians, they are not included. While librarians play a role in education, they are not directly involved in teacher education programs. What is the recommendation for curriculum revision focus on? Regular updates are necessary to incorporate modern educational practices and technologies. What is emphasized in the practical training aspect of teacher education? That is, practical training emphasizes hands-on experience to enhance the teaching effectiveness. Continuous professional development of teachers is aimed at what? That is, ongoing training helps teachers stay informed about effective teaching strategies, keeping them updated on best practices. What kind of assessment method does the NCF 2005 recommend? That is, formative assessment methods. The NCF encourages formative assessments that focus on learning outcomes. Which approach does the NCF 2005 advocate for learning? That is, constructivist approach. The constructivist approach encourages active learning and critical thinking. What does the NCF 2005 promote regarding learning across subjects? that is interdisciplinary learning. Interdisciplinary learning makes education more relevant and engaging. The NCF emphasizes the holistic development of students. What does this include? That is emotional, social and physical well-being. Holistic development focuses on the overall growth of the students. In the context of the NCF 2005, what does equity in education refer to? That is creating opportunities for diverse learners. Equity involves recognizing and addressing the diverse needs of students. Which of the following is a key principle of the NCF regarding teacher engagement? That is engaging with the community. Community engagement is important for relevant and contextual education. Which stakeholders are crucial in the training of future teachers? That is educational institutions, teacher educators and students. Multiple stakeholders including educational institutions and teacher educators are essential for effective teacher training. What role do teachers educators play in teacher education? Teacher educators are responsible for mentoring and providing Teacher educators are responsible for mentoring and providing guidance to future teachers. The NCF 2005 aims to create which type of learning environment? Equitable and inclusive environment. The NCF advocates for equitable and inclusive learning environment for all students. Which one of the main challenges about teacher education? That is lack of coherence in curriculum design. So this highlights the lack of coherence in curriculum design as a challenge. Which element is crucial for effective teaching as highlighted by the NCF? Which element is crucial for effective teaching? Flexibility and adaptability. Flexibility and adaptability are essential for addressing diverse student needs. Which of the following is not a focus of teacher education? That is encouraging rote memorization. Teacher education aims to move away from blind memory and promote deeper learning in the subjects. The NCF encourages which of the following practices in education? That is engaging all students in the learning process. The NCF promotes engaging all students and addressing their unique learning needs. What aspect of teacher education does the NCF highlight as essential for the future? That is continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is emphasized to adapt to changing educational context. What is the main purpose of recommendations made for teacher education? That is to enhance the quality of teaching and learning. The recommendations aim to improve the quality of teaching and learning in schools. Of course, I am stopping with the 3. Another 3 is there. In the next video we will be giving it. Otherwise it will be too long and you may get bored also. You must listen to me with some with some interest. Otherwise, if you are not interested, naturally, the video will not be effective. So, you just go through all these 3 commissions. In the next video, I will be giving another 3 commissions. So, we will be able to finish the part 1 of unit 2. The other parts we will give in a summarizing form because there is no need for taking up each and every point. We will give whatever points are together, we should take them together and then give. So the most critical questions will be analyzed in part B, part C, part D, and so that we will be able to finish as early as possible. And also that is what is needed. With regard to commissions, we need to treat each separately, right? Each separately can be asked. For that reason only we were lengthening it. But other topics we can condense it, condense it in such a manner that you are able to understand the concepts very clearly and you are able to have practice yourself. So God bless you abundantly, dear friends. Let us meet in other video lectures. I request you to consider all these videos, and if you are interested in getting the material, most welcome. Just ஒரு கொஞ்சம் போல் ஏதோ ஒரு 200 ரூபா கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த மெட்டீரியல் பூரா உங்களுக்கு நான் அனுப்பிச்சி வச்சிடுறேன். நீங்கள் வீட்டில் உட்காந்து அருமையாக பாருங்கள். நான் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் எடிட்டிங் பண்ணணும், அதாவது ஒரு சில விஷயங்களை போடணும். இந்த சம்மரி பாட்டி எல்லாத்துக்கும் நான் போடலை. அதை போட்டோன்னா 2-3 நாளில் கூட ரெடி ஆகிடும். அது பின்னால் நீங்கள் வாங்கி அப்படியே கூட கையில் வச்சுக்கிட்டே படிச்சிங்கன்னா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லது. ஸோ I appeal to you, if you are interested, I am not compelling you. I am just giving you freely in a way, only for the sake of expenses. Some expense I am asking you something. ஒரு 200 கொடுங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்குறது வந்து என்னுடைய இந்த செலவினங்களை ஈடுகட்டவும் கொஞ்சம் யாருக்காவது உதவி செய்யக்கூடிய கொஞ்சம் தொகை வேணுங்கிறதுனால தான் நான் இதை வந்து கேட்குறேன். அதனால் வந்து அது உங்களுக்கு பயன்படும் என்று நீங்கள் நினைத்தீர்கள் என்று சொன்னால் கண்டிப்பாக வாங்கி படிக்கும்படியாக உங்களை அன்போடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். God bless you abundantly.